Blow the whistle 'cause I love that sound. And we can just keep going round. I'm ready for another round. Go ahead, touchdown like that. 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 Hey, hey, go ahead, touchdown like that. 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 Like what's the middle?
Today, from London, England, it's the AFC Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Straight ahead, we punch. For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. Taking it about the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Darrington Evans on the return.
The Titans set to take over behind their quarterback, Ryan Tannehill.
Eddie Moore that did his part, the wild card win with 3 touchdown passes. Now, he's going to get a bigger test here in round 2, but his unit is in rhythm, and they're playing as well as they have all year long. I wouldn't be surprised if this defense, though, tried to get after him early with a little extra pressure. If he can handle that, he can have another big game, though.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's 2nd down now.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 2nd down, it's Henry. And the stiff arm made it a pretty little run. Not a huge gain, but a nice chunk of yardage. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, Tannehill. Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked.
Ryan Tannehill sacked.
I know some of the talk after last week's loss was the O-line struggles. They gave up 4 sacks. He got hit here and taken down again, so that's something to monitor.
It is something to monitor, but they've got to help their offensive line out. Maybe a little bit different play calling, right? Draws, screens, get the ball in the quarterback's hands quicker, maybe some quick game passes. All of that to try and help slow down a pass rush and make things easier on their offensive line.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. And just a net of 31 here, 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
And he and his team, they were the beneficiaries of a first-round bye earned by a tremendous regular season. He'd been a little bit nicked up, so he could use the rest. And I'm sure his teammates felt the exact same way. But now it'll be interesting to watch their first few drives in this one. Because sometimes getting the rest is great, but sometimes you accumulate a little bit of rust as well. Maybe they come out flat, and they can't afford that in the postseason.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Hunter Henry brings brings it in. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 7 yards to pick up there. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
On second down, here's the option. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
A 2-yard pickup brings up 3rd and 1.
Back to throw here. That one complete to Keene, the tight end. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first.
Good. 4.
They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here's big. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Michel, they toss it out right to him. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
As a linebacker, you're taught to stay just slightly behind the ball carrier just in case he makes a cutback. But when you find the gap, shoot it. And he found it all right. Took it straight into the backfield and made the tackle for a loss.
They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
That's a gain of 2. Brings up 3rd and 12.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Aguilar has it. Oh, now he's stripped. He lost the football.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. And to give this time to the tailback. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And he's got it. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. From 13 yards out. And his guys have taken a first quarter lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? What he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
On the return, the Titans take over 1st and 10.
The Titans coming back onto the field for their 2nd drive, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Running from the gun with Henry. And a 42-yard line here and brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
On second down, here's Henry. And 3 yards there, takes him to the 45.
Henry on the handoff.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
A 3-yard gain on the play.
Here's Tannehill. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Intended for number 8.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts. This time on 3rd down.
The punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fair catch called for him, May, but now we'll have to see about the penalty.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Don't do us like that.
That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
A 3-yard pickup.
From the gun on 3rd down, Tannehill. And right side, Henry's got it. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. That 3rd down conversion good for 23. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Down Tennessee.
A shotgun snap for Tannehill. This will be caught just inside the 10. Flash those fast feet, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line as he can't get any closer to the end zone.
Pick up at 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 5-yard line.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
It's a gain of a yard. And it's 3rd down.
From the gun, here's Tannehill. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Kyle Van Noy in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game.
Black Knights 7, Titans 3.
So a dozen plays on that drive, CD, but in the end, it yields just the 3 points.
Well, they were able to keep the defense on the field for a long time, but let's be honest about it. That was about as unsatisfying a drive as you're going to get. 12 plays and you only get 3 points out of it. Not quite the ending they were looking for.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their 2nd drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
This drive starts out on the ground with Michel. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
2nd and 9 now. And we'll find the open man. It's DJ Moore.
DJ Moore. That's good. 4.
Oh, that was a pretty route right there, because it's all about finding a window on a route like that. He lined up on his left, ran the deep in route over the middle, and the ball was right where it needed to be. Really good trust between quarterback and receiver. Really good completion.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 11 more on that one and another first down.
London, first down.
Now a handoff here to his running back. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Made by Kevin Byard. It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is going to get this close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the Titans 32. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they look to throw. Complete on the quick throw to Moore. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
That's good.
They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
Good.
It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. 2nd and goal from inside the 5.
A pickup of 2. Brings up 2nd and goal.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete. A big one coming in this divisional round playoff. 3rd and goal.
It's now 3rd and goal.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. This ball's tipped and intercepted. It's picked. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Still a couple yards short of the 1st as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. They'll try to run for the 1st with Henry. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. The Titans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. 5 yards, not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
Now he's looking just to add to his totals. Georgia Tech, Shaq Mason. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 2nd and 10.
Henry. A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd down at the 39-yard line.
Now they try the right side here. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
Taken down.
Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. Manning, he hits him in stride. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, and it's good for a 1st down as well.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going, and if points result, we'll call this play significant.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is really fluid around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Second and 11 now. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's got it complete to Anderson. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
3rd and 6.
Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs. That's caught by Moore. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That one a 14-yard play, and it keeps this drive moving. Now a pass here caught by Hunter Henry. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
That's another London first down. 1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. That's complete right around the 8.
The pass.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
At the 5-yard line.
Back in the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. 4th down now as the Titans defense holds up in coverage. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Makes the score Black Knights 10.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
The Titans take over 1st and 10.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking.
Perspective of the losing side here in this divisional round. It all ends so abruptly, doesn't it? A few hours ago, you've got all this hope and anticipation of maybe a deep run, and now you're out of it.
Well, let's applaud the team that won, and rightly so. They're moving on. They still have a chance to get to the big game. But let's not bury the team that lost. I think I do a lousy job of illuminating what a great year they had. Let's face it, when it's all said and done, they were one of 8 teams left with a chance to get to and win the Super Bowl.
Let me explain what I did. it? Can I kick it? Hold on. Yeah, I got some rings and a range. Can I kick it? Yeah. Don't ask me a thing. How I got her, how I did it. Yeah. Spend the whole half, had a blast. Can I kick it? Even with a sprain, pain. Can I kick it? Just the flex, I went and bought a chain. Can I kick it? Things ain't been the same. Things have changed. Can I kick it? People acting different, so I ask. Can I?
Hey, could count on my paw and look at my dogs.